Now that we have the body done, we can set it aside and make the wings. So like the body, the wings are going to be made with super bulky yarn and the 8mm hook. Once again, going into the magic circle, you will want to do 3 single crochet, 3 double crochet, 3 extended double crochets, 3 double crochets, and 3 single crochets. It's quite a lot, so you might want to make your loop a little bit bigger. And if you don't know how to do an extended double crochet, I will show you in a minute. So we're going to start off with 3 single crochets, 3. So we've got 3 single crochets. And again, it's not required, but I like using a stitch marker because you will slip stitch into this first stitch once you're done, so it just makes it a little bit easier to see. So then we're going to do 3 double crochets. Alright, so we've got 3 double crochets, there are 3 single crochets and then 3 double crochets. And then we're going to want to do 3 extended double crochets. So again, you should be able to find a tutorial online, but if you can't, here I will show you how to do the extended double crochets really quick. So you want to yarn over as normal, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So you've got 3 loops on your hook. And then normally with a double crochet you would yarn over and pull through 2 loops. But with an extended double crochet, you're going to want to yarn over and pull through just the first loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And there you've got 1 extended double crochet. And you're going to want to do 3 of them. Then do 3 double crochets. And then you're going to finish by doing 3 single crochets. Make sure you've got some yarn tail to pull in. First you're going to slip stitch to this first single crochet that you made, like so, to keep that connected. And then pull on your tail to close the loop. There. You might have to flatten it out a little bit because it's got, I think, 15 stitches in it. It does end up a little bit wavy. You can just flatten it out like this and make sure that's secure. And there is 1 wing. Once you've got your wings done, it's time to make the eyes. The eyes are pretty simple. It's just 1 round of 6 single crochets using the worsted weight yarn and a 4mm hook. So once again, you're going to do a magic circle. Like so. And then just do 6 single crochets. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just slip stitch to your first stitch, like so, and pull to close the loop. And there you've got an eye. You're going to want to make 2 of these. I didn't mention it earlier, but I do like, when I'm doing the eyes, or the wings too actually, I like leaving fairly long tails on it, usually both tails fairly long, because I think it makes it much easier for sewing on your different pieces. Once you have all of your pieces, your body, your 2 wings, and your 2 eyes, you are ready to assemble. Now, first thing I like to do is find where is the seam. Now, because you're doing it in continuous rounds, there isn't really a seam, not anywhere near as much as the one that you would get if you were doing a slip stitch and a chain 1 to begin the row. But there is still somewhat of a seam here. You see where the rows of the colors are not completely in line with each other. And I like to make sure that this part is on the bottom, like this. It's not super visible, so it's not a huge deal if it's somewhere else, but I like making sure that it's on the bottom, right here. Now, I like to attach the wings first, or at least place the wings. I don't always sew them on right away, but I do like to place the wings before I sew on the eyes, so I know that I'm sewing them on in the right spot. The wings will be attached between rounds 6 and 7 with no space in between them. So this is 5, 6, and 7. So they will be attached right here with no space in between them, as you can see, like this. I also like making them flat, so the right side, because this is the wrong side, the right side will be facing upwards instead of attaching them like this, where it would be sort of facing frontwards. I like it this way so that the wings are flat. You've got your wing and your yarn needle, and you're going to attach it this way. When I'm first placing it, I like using the end that comes out of the magic loop to place it, so it will not be exactly connected to the other one. So if this is the bottom and I want it to be about here, I can put it through right about there. Oftentimes this end does not stay there. Once I start actually sewing the wing on, I will I'll remove it and then sew it where I want so that the wing is more attached. But this is just to hold the wing in place while I'm placing all of the different pieces. So once again, with this other wing, we're just going to line it up so that it's in line with this one between rows 6 and 7. And then just insert the hook and push it through. So once sewed on, they'll look approximately like this. However, I'm not going to sew them on yet. I'm just placing them there so that I know where to put the eyes. The eyes will be attached between rounds 2 and 3, slightly above the center, with about an inch between them. So you can see here, they're slightly above the center, which is right here, and they've got about an inch, maybe a little bit more than an inch of space in between them. Once again, I like using this end that comes from the middle, from the magic loop, to place the eye where I want it before I actually sew it on with this other longer end. So I want between rounds 2 and 3, so this is round 1, 2, and 3, a little bit above center, so probably about here. Now you can see that they are basically even height-wise, and you just want to attach them using this other end. So you're going to sew them on, and I'm actually going to get a different yarn needle. I forgot that I prefer using curved yarn needles when sewing amigurumi together. So I'm going to use this one instead. It just makes it a little bit easier when you're sewing the different parts on. So the way that I sew them on is I place them where I want them to be, and then I go down this way and hook it, and then back up this way. That keeps the stitch definition for these in a way that you wouldn't get if you're looping it around, so you would be going up this way and then over. So I'm just going to go down, figure out where it goes in, and pull it out. And remember, I'm going up through from the bottom to the top instead of going over from top to bottom. So this way, bottom to top. And then I go top to bottom. And there we have one eye sewed on. I usually don't cut the yarn and weave in the ends until I have the other eye on, just in case it does not match up and I want to unstitch it. It's pretty easy to do that when you don't have the ends weaved in, but once you do, it's really difficult. So then you're going to repeat this process with the other eye. Alright, so now we've got both eyes sewed on, and I'm actually going to continue to not sew the ends in, just in case I do want to make some changes. But right now we're going to move on to the wings. So again, we don't want any space in between these two. Just want to check and make sure it's basically in the middle of the eyes. Don't want their V being lopsided, like so. And then you can start sewing this on. So I take the really long end, I put it in through the middle right here. Now, how you sew the wings on is mostly up to you. Personally, I like making sure that they're sewn on some on the bottom as well as just this end spot, because I think it makes it more secure. So you're basically going to do the same process that you did before and just attach it to the body of the bee. That one is now reasonably well sewn on, and we're going to move on to the next one. Insert your hook in the same stitch as the previous one, as the beginning stitch of the other wing. Again, you're going to want to make sure that they're touching. That's why I had you insert it in the same stitch. And then you're just going to follow the same process, just attaching the wing to the body of the bee a little bit better.